town, your team, your school. This is Channel 3's Friday Night Frenzy.
From our broadcast house in Rocky Hill, it's Friday Night Frenzy, the winter edition. Thanks for being with us tonight. I'm Joe Zone.
I'm Mark Robbins, and over the next 15 minutes or so, we're going to have highlights from boys basketball, girls basketball, and the Connecticut Ice Hockey Tournament. And we're going to begin, of course, with our game of the week. Morgan traveling to take on Old Saybrook, this girls basketball. And Old Saybrook, the spot for this one, you saw it maybe on the wax, the Rams hosting Morgan early. It's Morgan getting the three-point shooting going. Cora Dunham knocks one down from the left side. Morgan on top and adding to it. Maddie Grennan gets the pass and goes right wing for a three. The Huskies taking advantage of being on the road and coming up with a steal. And Chris passing Liliana Luciani inside for a layup. Morgan really starting to break things open. And then second half, moving it up the floor, Alana Zerlis. The post move, a dominating win for Morgan on the road, 70-23 the final. Morgan Huskies now 11-2 on the season. After the game, Morgan head coach Caitlin Woods talked about going up against her dad, Old Saybrook head coach Stephen Woods.
It's a good rivalry to have, and they're tough, and we really knew that it could be a tough game if we don't shut them down. And of course I want to shut them down a little more because it's my dad, even though he and I are very close. But yeah, it's definitely extra special. So this was great to have this kind of a win at Old Saybrook tonight.
Nothing quite that dramatic at Avon, with the girls' game there between Avon and Canton. Here's Avon on this end. Leah Busanik with a corner three, and that's the early lead for Avon. The answer for Canton is Riley Algren. That's good. Here comes Avon now. Avon on the break. One pass, two passes, and then Haley Chisholm, the finish. I like to go to Chisholm. Watch it again. This time she stays back, knocks down the jumper. Kent will go inside to their big, Emery Howard. There she goes. Avon back this way. She'll go to the corner. Busanik again. Avon beats Canton tonight, 45-29. All right, more action coming your way on the Frenzy.
That's right. We're going to check in with some more highlights, and for that, we go to our colleague, Dan Booth. Hi, Dan.
Joe and Mark, like you, I was bouncing all over the place tonight, and it's clear we're at the point in the season when teams are starting to discover how they want to play and who they want to be when playoff time arrives. Let's start with some girls basketball over in Hartford with the Weaver Beavers hosting Weathersfield. The Eagles were flying high early on in this game, and they're going to get the ball to Brianna Bagley, who's behind the three-point line. She lines it up and knocks it down, catching that shooting three right there, putting her squad up by 4 2 minutes in. Weaver had their running shoes on in this game. Rihanna Torres pushing the pace, gets it to Liana Martin, who gets the contested layup to fall. After another Weathersfield miss, the Beavers are running again, and this time it's Tiana Boland finding Martin in transition, putting Weaver up by 1. Now, this was a scrappy game with both teams going all over the place, diving all over the floor, getting the loose balls, and on this play in the second quarter, Torres breaks the press, and the ball finds its way to Kylie Muse, putting Weaver up by 6. But the Eagles took flight right before the half, and they carried that momentum into the second half. Weathersfield gets the job done on the road, 48-34. Let's get over to Bloomfield, where the 9-1 Warhawks went head-to-head with Middletown on their home floor. Sometimes playing fast and getting your pace going can really get players going early on in games, and Jeffrey Akoff was in his bag from the opening tip. Between his outstanding defense in the full-court press to his relentless ability to attack the rim, the senior forward was cooking, helping Bloomfield start off the game on an 8-0 run. The Warhawks press was creating a lot of problems for Middletown, but once they got settled down, they got into their groove. Connor Diakia going coast to coast for 2 on that play. Shortly after that, the Blue Dragons started breathing fire from three-point land. Dion Hill in particular, Hill was feeling it with back-to-back threes from that same corner, helping Middletown stay within striking distance. But towards the end, end of the first quarter, the Warhawks showed everyone that they can knock down that three ball too. Caden Smith lines it up, knocks it down. He was balling on both sides of the floor in this one. Bloomfield scores in triple digits for the first time this season, defeating Middletown 102-69. Up next, we've got East Windsor taking on Bolton. The story of this game was the Panthers' on-ball defense. In the fourth quarter, East Windsor's up big. Braden Pexton gets the block, pushes it to Antonio Rodriguez. He zips it ahead to Ian Thompson, and he does the rest, kissing the ball off the glass, putting the Panthers up by 22. Bolton found the range in the final quarter. Chase Lacassie hitting the long-range jumper there, but the Panthers stayed in attack mode. Evan Witzke ends up going along the baseline on the cut right there, getting an easy two. East Windsor cruises to victory, 54-27.
All right, Mike Coe brought his Xavier Falcons over to Shelton to take on the Gales and their head coach, Brian Gardner. And this game tied at the break, but in the third quarter, here comes Xavier taking control. Ian Pringle, a sweet stroke from the top of the key for three. The Shelton student body up for a challenge in this one, trying to bring the Gales back, and that enthusiasm helped Dominic Durante. Gets a bucket right there in the paint. But the paint in the second half really belonged to Xavier. Check out the junior Oli Obi splitting the defense, getting the bucket and one as Xavier pulls away to get the victory, 58-42.